Imagine two worlds. Let's call them A and B. World A is headed up by leaders who emphasize teamwork and the common good, while in World B, the focus is on personal success and recognition. The leaders of World A strive to understand and address the needs of others. Service to and in the community is central, and individuals are encouraged to take initiative and to develop their skills. World B emphasizes measurable outcomes and results and is driven by a scarcity mindset. Resources and opportunities are limited, and only if you take risks, work hard, and dare to employ aggressive strategies, you will be viewed as successful. In World A, leaders act as mentors who foster growth and development. They involve teams in decisions, valuing their input, and they prioritize the needs of their citizens, enabling others to succeed. In World B, leaders often set strict goals and expectations, directing the efforts toward the outcomes. Citizens in any area of life are recognized and honored as top performers and are used as role models. Individuals consistently evaluate themselves against each other. In consequence, in World A, people build strong relationships with each other, fostering a sense of belonging. They are creative problem solvers, communicating openly and thinking out of the box. The citizens of World A have a high morale and are engaged and look into the future optimistically. In World B, however, the people build groups that are isolated from each other, that grow further and further apart in opinion, need, and shared identification through a lack of sharing and a growing distrust. Citizens experience the environment as pressuring, stressful, and frightening, which causes burnout or huge dissatisfaction. Therefore, the focus is on themselves in the here and now. Immediate results are preferred, long-term views are not predictable. Which world, A or B, would you prefer to live in? In which world would you want to raise your children or grandchildren, go to school or apply for college, play sports or build community? In which world would you want to volunteer your time? In which world would you want to work? In which world would you want to be old or sick? A or B? Our gospel text for today is about James and John, the sons of Zebedee. The brothers belonged to the earliest disciples of Jesus, leaving their father and their boats, their jobs as fishermen, their villages and friends and family behind, following the call of Jesus without hesitation. They have given up their security and predictability by living the itinerant life, and now they approach Jesus, asking for a favor. Because don't they deserve at least one for all their sacrifices? They asked Jesus, "Teacher, we want you to do for us whatever we ask of you." And he said to them, "What is it you want me to do for you?" And they said to him, "Grant us to sit, one at your right hand and one at your left, in your glory." Jesus doesn't send them away when they approach him with their ridiculously phrased request. They actually remind me of my children who want a cookie before dinner. No, Jesus wants to know what they have on their minds. He asks. And they say, "Grant us to sit next to you in your glory." Enter doxesu is the Greek, and can be translated as in your honor, in your glory, in your splendor. That sounds very old-fashioned, but modern synonyms are celebrity, credit, distinction, fame, reputation. They want to be known and distinguished among all the followers of Jesus once Jesus accomplishes what needs to be accomplished and is with God in glory. They do not just want to be there, too. They are convinced that they deserve first-row seating. Over the years, I have come to respect the disciples more and more. It is easy to joke about them and the things they miss or they don't understand. But it is somewhat painful to admit the similarities in thought and action, and the things we don't do, though we know the full story of Jesus. Also, James and John do get things right. They trust in Jesus, despite his gloomy predictions of suffering and death. They are ambitious for the reign of God. They expect and want Jesus to be glorified. They expect and want the world's wrongs to be righted. They do their best to work against injustice, oppression, hatred, and violence. And they ask Jesus. They don't demand, they don't expect, they ask. They actively engage in relationship with Jesus and he with them in their conversation. However, they don't quite understand what Jesus' leadership is about. For them, their sacrifices merit a tangible, a promised reward. For Jesus, it is always and forever service. Service, leadership. Service is glory. You know that among the Gentiles, those whom they recognize as their rulers lord it over them, and their great ones are tyrants over them. But it is not so among you. But whoever wishes to become great among you must be your servant, and whoever wishes to be first among you must be slave of all. For the Son of Man came not to be served, but to serve, and to give his life a ransom for many. There's no secret footnote saying the reward for service is honor, glory, and a first-row seat. No, the reward for service is service itself, is in the service itself, in the relationships that develop, the understanding for each other, the striving for community and the common good, the trust in leadership and the optimism for tomorrow where a future generation can grow up and live and love. I guess you have figured out that World B is closer to our reality than World A. But I would love to live in World A. It sounds fantastic. I would love my children to grow up in a world, and growing old or becoming sick or unemployed sounds much less frightening in World A than in B. And though I know many things about World A, the kingdom of God, it is so hard to push it further into reality. It is so hard to let go of privileges, so easy to forget about others, so hard to not put myself first, so easy to accept glory for myself only, so hard to serve without expecting a reward, a compliment, a recognition, so easy to live short-sighted. Therefore, my question for you this week is it just hard or is it impossible?